Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ultimate Speedrunning Championship. And tonight's main event, we have none other than Rico KSB here with Crash Twinsanity 100%.
Absolutely. And me and Dylan were just telling her off stream that we were very excited to see Crash Twinsanity. We both really like Crash Twinsanity.
Yeah, like
in terms of the speed game.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even as a casual game, it's got like a lot of charm, a lot of personality. I think outside the original trilogy, it's a lot of people's favorite, and for good reason.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a really great game, and I'm really excited to showcase it here at USC, especially by such a talented and quality runner such as Kylie here. I am so, and I mean this, unbelievably excited to watch this run. And folks, just to sit here and remind you, we are closer than honestly either of us thought we would get.
No, absolutely,
to our day 4 stretch incentive, where we are going to be doing a day 4 of the event. So if you guys would like to see this, please get your donations in as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And make sure you click those cool raffle items as well so you can get them before they're gone forever.
Exactly. So without further ado, we're going to get over to the runner card here. We'll tell you more about Able Gamers throughout the run. But for now, let's talk about Rico.
All right, this is Rico.
And they are third of only 4 runners to get a sub 113 in 100% in this game.
Absolutely amazing, and has run every mainline Crash Bandicoot game except Crash of the Titans.
And they are the biggest Dr. Pepper lover and the biggest Crash Bash hater. Now, can I get an amen in chat for that second point?
Amen.
Rico, we are on with you. How are you feeling?
That last bullet point is a bit tragic because as of today, I'm on keto and can no longer drink Dr. Pepper.
I saw that tweet and I was going to ad-lib it, but we have a timer on the card, so
we should have said was the biggest Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I'm still the biggest Dr. Pepper lover. I just can't have it.
Hey man, sister, let's go.
Hey man. So yeah, we're very, very excited for Twins.
I'm seeing Toronto just bust a groove to the soundtrack right now, dude.
Also, because I just started keto, if this run is an absolute disaster, I'm blaming that and not the fact that the game is really harder that I'm washed. So
no, absolutely, I agree. Yeah,
understandable.
Yeah. So for those who have not seen this game, this is Crash Twinsanity. I want you all in the chat to imagine the most broken game you could possibly think of. There's an 85% chance that this game is more broken than it.
That's fantastic.
And
on Microfest?
Guys, I just want to say this is the best soundtrack that comes with a free game I have ever seen. It's just so good, man. Please listen to the music.
That's a great way to put it.
All right. So actually, before the run starts, I want to show off a trick that's not used in 100%. It's only used in any percent and any percent no dimension skip, and this will actually probably showcase how broken this game is. Okay. So look at this giant acorn right here. You're supposed to roll it into that hole and it creates a tree for literally no reason. But we're going to take this and we're going to roll it very far away from that hole. We're going to take it all the way up to... There's like a cliffside over here.
Okay.
Also, I might mess this up because I'd never run any percent. But
no, you're good. You're
so
good.
we're gonna roll this up here. Crash will ideally grab it again. All right. So at the top of this cliff is the loading trigger for 2 different chunks. So this part of the island and the part on that cave on the other side are 2 different sections of the game. So when you get this nut into this spot and then you just jump on it, ideally it works. Let's try that again. But yeah, you just get sent across here. Just because when you land on an object that's standing between 2 chunks, you just fly to the other side. That's nut skip. It literally saved any percent. Any percent had a drought of about 2 years because the skip that preceded this was absolute fucking dog shit, and like 3 people total on the planet have ever done it. This trick just made it so you don't have to do that skip, and over the years, any percent's been reduced to like 10 minutes.
That's insane. Me and Dylan are just proving that we're actually like 10 years old because you said nut skip and then we just lost our minds.
I mean, I'm 30 and I do the same thing, so.
Hey, dude. Listen. Nut skip. Yeah.
Yep. Nut skip.
And just to let you know, on our
So
end,
good.
you are about like a 2-second delay or so. So if we react late, that's why. It's not because we're
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
not paying attention. Okay. So give us let us know whenever you're ready to count you down, and then we will count you down into the run.
Yeah. So the way timing starts in this is it's first movement, and there is a menu after you start the game, but before like you actually gain control of Crash. So timing will start whenever I click on that menu. So I'll give you guys a countdown when. It's just that if it looks like I'm loading into the game, I didn't forget it. It's just part of the setup.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a run.
Yeah.
Whoops.
All right. So. All right. So I'll count down now.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go.
Yep. So this is 100%. The only requirements for 100% are to collect all 96 gems and beat the final boss. There are no other restrictions, so I can go crazy. So right off the bat, we're coming over to this side area to get the first gem, which is the clear gem. There's 6 gems in each area, and I'm just going to immediately death abuse there. If you fall for long enough in this game, it just auto-kills you as a failsafe, and that bounce is just enough height to do that
like
without
Spiral
dying.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And you said that's one of the only requirements. So correct me if I'm wrong. Is this one of the first mainline Crash games in the series up to this point that didn't require you to break all the boxes, get everything, and all that stuff?
It is the first one actually that didn't require it.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that's really interesting. That's a huge change in formula for Crash. As you can see, it also is a huge change. It's borderline like open zone kind of, because you can just kind of go wherever, but still have a guide of where you need to go.
Yeah. So I just use the body slam to cheese that puzzle. You're supposed to break all the totems and run across. That takes way too much time. So we just body slam. Giving the body slam a spin just gives it a little bit more height, which is important because on the PAL version, which is what I'm running, the body slam's a little shorter. So I'm going to do another out of bounds here. This game goes really fast, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed. Good lord.
Yeah, so jumping on this tree lets us get out of bounds, and it skips 2 cutscenes. This is basically a tutorial level. It's called Jungle Bungle. Yeah, so we just skipped two cutscenes where Coco, actually. That's very clearly Coco. My mistake.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she's my favorite character, and I didn't even recognize her. I feel so bad. But yeah, no, it's just basically telling you how the game works. You can skip that cutscene, but you only have one shot at it, and it saves like 8 seconds if you do it perfectly, and I'm awful at it, so I usually just lose more time if I actually do get it. Once again, just jumping on scenery here to dodge more puzzles. So basically, there's going to be a lot of I'm supposed to do this thing and I'm not doing this thing. Other thing of note is the movement tech in this game. The slide jump is very, very different in this game compared to basically every other Crash game. It's more similar to the long jump from Super Mario 64.
Yeah, that's what I was about to compare it to because that's what it looked like on my end.
Yeah. Another thing that will come up is long jumping, which I'll explain after this skip here. So this is like really finicky, but if you line yourself up perfectly, you can stand on a ledge there for just a brief second, and that skips another cutscene. The only cutscenes you can skip normally in this game are the FMVs. All the in-engine ones you have to watch, so it's really huge throughout the run to just skip as many as you can.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong with those Twinsanity runs. I know that there are some like kind of special, not requirements, but recommendations in terms of how to play this on hardware. Isn't there some sort of specific instructions to do if you're running on Xbox or anything like that in terms of, I believe it's like installing it to a hard drive, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, I was gonna get into that at some point just because it's really hard to explain that in the first level because Jungle Bungle just has so much going on. I'm actually gonna break this checkpoint for safety because I skipped the last one by accident. Okay, so if I accidentally die coming up here, I would actually probably go back to like the very beginning of the level.
Miles reset.
Yeah. Also, we're coming up to the first like really major skip, which is the hover skip. If I do this right, it will skip the entirety of the first boss fight. If I do it wrong, the game will soft lock. I do have a backup save if that happens. But I am actually quite notoriously really good at this on PS2, so I hope I get it first try.
I think I know what skip you're talking about. I think I've seen this before. Yeah, this game is insane to watch because it's especially at the beginning, like you said, it's so rapid fire. Yeah, there it is.
That might work. I was a little bit off, but we'll see.
What? It's just Crash just floating.
All right, cool. I got it first try. Let's go.
Hey,
yeah. So what happened there is One of the things that was dummied out of this game, because this game is extremely unfinished, is later in the game you were supposed to be able to like control Cortex on his hoverboard. And Cortex in the first boss fight uses his hoverboard, so it's an object that exists, and they just made it invisible and out of bounds. But you can land on it and like very marginally control it, and you can guide it into the trigger for the next level, and it just skips the first boss fight.
Is that why in the cutscene with Cortex, Crash just went Mach 5 into
Yeah,
the wall?
yeah, he was just flying around.
Awesome.
Yeah, the fact that Crash does that is actually why it's so precise. Because if you do that and Crash is not in bounds when Cortex lands on him, you just soft lock in the center.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, I don't think I've seen the soft lock, so okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, this level is Cavern Catastrophe. This is by far the worst level in the game, and it's not even close.
Oh yeah, I've heard. I've heard. I've seen a couple runs where like this has been like the kryptonite.
Yeah, it's actually even harder on Xbox because of the way the cycles load. So the reason the Xbox version is the fastest is because it just loads faster. And if you install the game on a hard drive, which we allow because it's the only way for the game to be consistent among different Xboxes, it's actually even faster. But it also makes cycles load faster, so this level just becomes way harder. That's not why I'm running on PS2 though. You just can't have a lot of backup saves on Xbox that are like easily attainable because you only have 4 per hard drive.
Yeah.
And you can get 4 per memory card on PS2, and there are a lot of spots in this game where it is extreme. Oh, that's so great. Okay, yep, I love Cavern. I had no control over that. it just sent me really high up for no reason. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, so on PS2 you can have as many memory cards as you want. So just for context on how unsafe this game can be without backup saves in a marathon, I have 5 memory cards in front of me right now, all full of 4 save files to just have throughout the entire run. I honestly think I could have more.
I gotta say, I'm insanely thankful and impressed you came this prepared for USC.
Yeah,
I appreciate that so much.
If you ever see Joester98, who's second place in this category and former record holder, if you ever see him in a marathon and he has this game, he has like 16 memory cards just ready for just anything to go wrong. All right, so this first gem here.
That's so good. A bag of memory cards.
Yeah. So this is one of the first gems where if I had actually messed up getting it, I would hit a checkpoint and not be able to go back for it, which means I would have to reset the level. There's like 2 more across the run like that, and if I miss them, I'm honestly just going to keep going. So it'll just become a 99% speed run.
2 things real quick. We did get a not a donation, but we got a nice little message from Kiki in chat saying, "Hi Kylie, good luck," and
Hi,
then
Kiki.
Also saying, "Hi USC crew, hi Kiki." John was waving. But also had a question earlier. You said that as long as your hard drive on the Xbox makes it consistent throughout Xboxes. Is there something that makes it inconsistent if you don't?
Yeah, like different like individual Xboxes have different disk drives, like model and brand wise, and like the best ones lose like a couple seconds to hard drive. I'm fortunate that I actually have a good disk drive. But some of like the really bad ones, I think Dio Chomp in the chat has a really bad disk drive in his Xbox, and he like loses time compared to PS2 because it just takes forever to load.
I completely forgot. I used to repair consoles when I lived in Texas, and I completely forgot that was like the biggest headache was replacing a disk drive on Xbox.
Yeah, we just allowed installing on the hard drive with a soft mod just because that's the only way for Xbox to be fair, and it just happens to also make the game faster.
See, I love that. That's so nice, and it makes it really accessible. Like the barrier for entry is lowered because you guys allow that. So
yeah, we also allow running on Open PS2 loader because even the fastest setup for OPL is slower than Xbox. So it's like there's no reason to not allow it.
Oh wow, the community really thought about this. I love that. That's really commendable.
Yeah, it's great because I hate running the Xbox version even though it's faster. I just don't like the way it feels. I vastly prefer PS2.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Honestly, like,
I've
messaged you before.
Yep. I also, at no point did I explain the gimmick of this level. Crash and Cortex are just beating each other up, and it's basically similar to the ball levels from Wrath of Cortex, except it controls significantly worse. And then this also introduces us to the tag team mechanic of Crash and Cortex. Oh, well, I didn't get a jump. So we're off to a great start. This is the best Cavern Catastrophe. Okay, so this is where a long jump's going to come in. If you slide jump and then your next jump is at a ledge, the jump carries the momentum of the slide jump, so you could just clear so many gaps you're not supposed to, which is great because Crash and Cortex together are really slow. So when you have to play as them at the same time, you want to play as them together as little as possible.
Okay, so you're constantly chucking them?
Yeah.
Like into the sky?
Yeah,
Awesome.
so there, like, I threw him, did a slide jump, and then jumped at the ledge, and that skipped a puzzle where you're supposed to, like, have like throw Cortex across the gap, he activates one of the crystals for you, and then like a rock falls and you can do the gap.
Really quick, Rico.
Yeah.
We just got a donation. Do you have time for this?
Yeah.
Sweet. It's coming in from Loves to Be Glued for $3, saying, "Was still a store." Parentheses, shish shish. I don't know what that means.
I'm scared.
It's
I hope it means something.
It's a King of the Hill YouTube poop reference.
Oh my god.
Like Glued, Laura, Jamie, and I are all like really big into those, so we just quote those to each other constantly.
I immediately thought of Dallas Salad whenever
Yep.
you said that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so fun little tangent there. I live in Northern Virginia, and the airport that is near me is the Dulles Airport, and every time I drive past a sign that says Dulles, I just say Dulles Salad.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we finished Cavern Catastrophe, and I skipped 2 more gem puzzles, as we do. So the next level is Totem Hokum, and this is going to have probably my favorite glitch in the entire run, if not like in all of speedrunning. So this game has a zombie glitch, and we are going to be using it for a large portion of the run. We'll be using it here for it'll be from about midway through this level. I'm gonna get this checkpoint to be safe. It'll be midway through this level all the way into the end of the first level of Hub 2, and then it'll also be used later on in the run. But the caveat with this trick is that the way it's set up attaches Cortex to you, and if you die and respawn in a spot where you're not supposed to have a Cortex and the game thinks you have him, the game crashes. So this is incredibly risky, and I do have backup saves for it because of that.
Okay.
But ideally, I will simply not die.
This game is so fast.
Yeah, it's
There's,
very...
like, no downtime, really, right?
Especially early, there's like no
Yeah.
downtime. By the time we get to like Hub 3 and 4, it calms down a little bit, but still not really.
This really does feel like a sprint.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
this is supposed to be an escort mission level where Cortex is being chased by a hive of bees, and you just like clear the path for him, and he clears the path for you. We're not doing that.
We're gonna make our own path here.
Yeah, I tried to use the long jump to grab that gem. I didn't get it, so I just detonated the nitros.
Okay. One thing I wanted to mention to you, because you mentioned Joester before, right?
Yeah.
You've both been active in this game, in this category for a while, and I just had a personal little anecdote about Twinsanity. I messaged both you and him about it. I believe messaged you specifically about like some information about NDS, no dimension skip. And also Joester, you were like, dude, that's sick. You should check out the category, watch a couple runs, get a feel for the route. When I was like, Joester, like, what do you do with like this thing here? He was like, you should just run 100 instead. Which is what we're seeing here today. And I'm be honest, I'm watching it and it does make me want to run it.
Yeah, absolutely same here.
I do think Hundo on this route specifically is the coolest category in the game. There is another route that's faster really cool, called the Cursed route that uses a trick that we found at the beginning of 2023 called the Cursed Warp to like do the game out of order, kind of like Spyro 2, and then you save like 3 minutes. The only person who does that is G-Pro, who has the world record. My PB is technically on that route, but it's 1 second faster than my PB on this route, so I don't really count it.
So, did you just long jump spin into skipping the death trigger, and now you're just jumping in the water?
Yeah. So what happened is I actually triggered the zombie at the end of the escort mission.
That's what you were
What I did
doing.
was
Okay.
I threw Cortex into the trigger to start the cutscene where he gets taken by the tribesmen, and I died at the same time. So the game just thinks I'm dead now. And when you're dead, nothing can kill you. I'm going to do this trick. It's awful. Don't ever do this. Literally, don't ever do this trick. Unless you're, like, going for world record.
I can see why. Oh.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit finicky. A little bit
It
dicey.
saves 12 seconds if you get it first try. I'm losing time now. Okay. Yeah. So you can do this. This skips the cutscene at the start of the village and also lines you up right to the blue gem. It's horrible. Don't do it. Ever. It is the worst thing ever. But yeah, so I cannot die except for by causing the failsafe when you fall from too high of a height, or by being seen by one of the watchtowers in the stealth section, and I just skipped all of them entirely just by having good cycles.
So is the zombie state in here similar to, me and Dylan are more familiar with like Spyro's zombie state where you can't do certain things. Like in Spyro, you can't pause, you can't get health back, you can't do like warp escorts or anything like that. Is there any other side effects to zombieing in Twinsanity?
You've actually pretty much got free reign. The only really big downside is that if you fall into like a hole, that doesn't kill you, so oftentimes that can soft lock you.
Oh, I see.
Which means I'm actually going to be very careful in this chase section because of that. You can leave zombie either by forcing a respawn or by picking up a mask, because the way it is in the game's programming, death is treated as having -1 masks. So if you pick up a mask, it puts you at 0 and then you're alive.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah,
That's
Dale
actually
pointed
really
out you cannot activate regular checkpoints, which is actually a good thing because that's why it's faster later on in the run. You can still activate world checkpoints, which are the game's save points. So like that blue, like yellow crate, that's a world checkpoint. I can activate that, but regular checkpoints do not trigger. All right, so this is a skip for the second boss. I'm doing a setup that is slower, but a lot safer because I just am very good at messing this up. Well, I messed that one up too. This one, if you mess up, you can try it again. The faster method is easier, but you only have one shot at it, really. All right, we're gonna try that again. There we go. Nice.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so you can the trigger for that boss fight is that gateway, but it doesn't extend very high up. So you can use the scenery to jump over it, and there is a way to do it with just the rocks on the side, but again, if you mess it up, you can slide right into the cutscene trigger. Using the tree is a lot slower, but it's like I messed it up 3 times and didn't have to like load a backup save. All right. So that was hub 1. And I'm actually gonna pause here. So the PS2 version loads very slowly. This is one of the spots where it loads slowly, and just being on here for like 8 seconds, pause just speeds it up a little bit. And then the zombie carries over into hub 2, so I'm just gonna immediately walk into the water here, and this skips having to bypass a really big cutscene trigger that we're gonna have to skip later anyway. But it also lets us just get this green gem right here.
So it's interesting that it saves your zombie save by loading into a new area. Because in Spyro, well, actually, no, in Spyro, does the same thing. I was actually going to ask, is this kind of similar to the progression system in A Hero's Tale, where a lot of the world just kind of like leads into itself? There's no like separate levels? Okay.
Well, there are individual levels. Oh my god, I almost died. That would have been so bad. I would have had to do this entire hub without zombie. Or this entire like level. Yeah, so
so there's no place nearby to get zombie again?
No, it's literally only in that level that I did, Totem Hokum.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so it also doesn't really save a huge amount of time. It just makes this part of the game easier, in my opinion, and it is a little bit faster. But yeah, so a bit of a misconception with Twins. People think this game is open world, and I like to describe it more as a seamless world in that every level just directly leads into the next one. But it is still largely linear.
That's kind of why I compared it to, I guess in terms of Sonic Frontiers, where I said open zone. That's kind of the same concept.
Yeah, they definitely, within the levels, you have a set path, but they do make very big advantage of the 3D range, which you'll see in this level, Ice Climb. Yeah, so this level, in about one, tier from now, I'm going to be exiting zombie, but I still cannot die because the game still thinks I have Cortex with me. So...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I still have to be really careful. So I have to get this gem here. So I grabbed that Aku Aku mask, which puts me out of zombie. And then this also lets me break checkpoints again, which will be important for being able to do a death abuse. But I also have to not die, and now enemies can kill me too. And there's a couple bats who can be very, very obnoxious, but I don't think they're chasing me, which is nice.
God, the hitboxes on these gears are so tall.
Yeah. Yeah, I skipped like most of the platforming just by landing on the gears in a way you're not supposed to. I can also land on the ledge here. It doesn't exist, clearly. This one might be easier on Xbox. There's some ledges that you have an easier time landing on Xbox than PS2. This might be one of them. I'm not sure.
I think that does make a lot more sense, because I think the Xbox version just has like more polygons, so
yeah,
it makes sense. PS2 like dialed it down.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in Hub 1 is like way easier on Xbox.
This is so it looks like after Hub 1 it does kind of, not want to say get easier, but it does kind of tone down all the crazy stuff, because your goal, like Dylan really likes, your goal is to ascend, basically. You just get as high as you can
like
here.
when you go up.
I like when you go up.
Yes, yeah.
Part of the game is
So
when the vertical aspects kick in.
yeah, I went out of bounds there, and then I walked forward to hit a trigger to load the outside of the mountain. And then I'm going to very carefully not die here, ideally. Many times I've died to either one of these nitros or a bat right before the checkpoint that makes me save, which is hilarious. All right, yeah. I'm going to just play this super safe because those bats are not in a good spot. Yeah, so I've broken this checkpoint. This part of Ice Climb, you do have Cortex, so I am safe now. We do not have to load any backups.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do probably the hardest long jump in the game right here. You have to like really abuse the coyote time to walk off the ledge a little bit and then double jump. And then you just grab that gem and Death Abuse. And then here's another strat that I might mess up. Nope, got it first try. So you can line yourself up to throw Cortex, and then when you take damage on the bat, you can just ride him up to the top area. That's called Fast Bat. It's way easier than the old strat where you just jump off of Cortex's head, which is awful. Joe is the only person who does it. For the love of God, Joe, please learn Fast Bat.
This Cortex set is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch.
Just seeing this guy like leave the stratosphere and then pop back up and then Crash goes up, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm skipping another boss fight again, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so this is the arena where you...
Second of downtime?
Let me explain this first and then yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So this boss arena is where you fight Uka Uka, who's the third boss. We're just not going to do that because we can... First off, we clipped into the fight without triggering the cutscene by just like forcing Cortex through it. And then I'm going to, ideally, get a long jump set up here, which is not working. This is great. Okay. Anyway, while I'm doing this, so go ahead and say whatever you're going to say.
No, you're good. I just wanted to take a moment here and talk about Able Gamers, which is, of course, the charity we are raising money for during this marathon. Folks, we all enjoy video games, right? We all enjoy playing games with our friends, interacting with people. The reality for some folks, however, is that they don't really have the same opportunities that you or I do. For some people, it's a lot harder to game due to physical limitations, physical disabilities, among other things. And what Able Gamers looks to do is combat those disabilities and combat social isolation, which is a really big problem because, let's just face facts, again, we like spending time with our friends, and if you can't do that in the form of playing games, it takes out one avenue of them. They combat it specifically by creating different apparatuses and different ways of accessibility in games, and provide developers funding to make accessibility options a thing for as many games as possible. Think about like The Last of Us, that he just went through the ceiling. Crash, I love you. Accessibility in gaming, like again The Last of Us, like Ghostland Yard, which we saw earlier in the marathon by Tara Stark, among a bunch of other games, is a really important thing because some people just wouldn't be able to play the game without those features. And we are looking to fund them as much as we can via this marathon. We are currently at $4,096 of our stretch goal of $5,000, which if we hit it, we secure a bonus day 4 of the marathon, where we'll be featuring a bunch of other runs, one of which neither me and Rico like, in the form of Crash Bash any %. However, there's a lot of people who love it, and listen, we just kind of love to hate it, if I'm being honest. But Rico, you were killing it. Keep rocking it. As mentioned earlier, I'm just mesmerized. I'm just really enjoying
I have been glued to this run.
Yeah, I just skipped to the entirety of, you're supposed to go to Cortex's lab and then like fight off like some mob of ants, which are the game's main enemy, and I just didn't do that. The trick I did is called Ride and Slide. It's actually way harder than it looks, and it probably looks really hard. The pixel length of that mountainside it's not. So I had to be very careful that. And also, if you die, it forces a load back to the checkpoint, which loses like 2 minutes. So I'm really glad I got that first try. But this is Slip Slide Ice Capades. This is a snowboarding level, but we didn't have a snowboard, so we're using Cortex instead. This is...
It looks different.
Yeah, this is probably... Like, when you're first learning 100%, this is probably your worst nightmare. Solely because of the gems. The purple gem, which is the first one I got, is really hard to get. The next couple ones are like fairly easy, but then like the second to last one, the yellow gem, is very, very miserable. And it's also one of the 2 gems that I was talking about earlier, where if you miss it, you have to restart the whole level. So if you're getting into this category and you feel bad about not being able to get that yellow gem, I just want everybody to know that I've been grinding this for like 3 weeks to prep for this run, and I probably missed the yellow gem like 50% of the time, and I'm 3rd place in this category, so if I'm messing it up, it's okay that you guys mess it up too.
Great words of wisdom. I love that.
On the topic of the difficulty and difficult, you've mentioned a couple things throughout it that are very difficult. You would recommend for beginners, especially. But for you, and this is something I've been trying to ask to as many runners as I can. What's one thing that you think about Twinsanity that makes it the game for you, right? I know you mentioned the call previous to us hitting live here on the feed and the run. That's in your top 3 Crash games, right? What do you think makes it that, and what would you tell a beginner that's trying to pick up this category and try it for the first time?
I will answer that after this gem right here, because this is the one of the ones I cannot miss. This is one that's pretty easy, though.
No, you're good. You're good.
It would have been so funny if I missed it. So what draws me to this game, the answer is kind of different casually and speed-wise. Casually, I kind of just think it's just the whole package just works together really well. Like, every individual thing you hear about Twinsanity probably doesn't sound that impressive, but when it's all one game, it just, like, bounces off of each other really well. Speed-wise, I think it is the perfect balance of... This is not going to work. I tried. That was just a horrendous cycle, so I had to death abuse here. That's fine. It gives me more time to answer the question. Speed-wise, I think it's the perfect balance of good movement and tricks. I messed this up again, so I'm going to damage these again.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm just stalling for time so I can answer this question.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's the perfect balance of speed tech and like skips and movement tech. And to me, it feels really, really consistent. At least on PS2, I have feelings about the Xbox version, but on PS2, I feel like most of the time a mistake is my fault.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
I cannot believe I got that gem. That was horrible. That was the worst lineup ever. How did that work?
That's insane. Oh my lord.
I think Crash's forehead just touched on that. Like, oh my goodness.
Gem
Like
hitboxes in this game are pretty huge, but that was ridiculous. I did not deserve that.
I'm glad we caught that, so now that we know how big the hitboxes are.
Or something like that. Like, dude.
Okay, so this might actually be a 100% run. It's crazy.
Yay!
Let's go.
The biggest advice I would give to a newcomer in this game is you're not going to know how to do everything starting out, and don't roadblock yourself trying to do something if it's too hard. Just come back to it later. I wanted to learn this game for so long, and I put it off for 2 years because I could not learn hover skip to save my life, which was the skip at the beginning of the run. And I eventually said, I don't care, I want to learn this game, and I just fought the first boss fight for like 3 weeks before I actually like tried learning the skip. And like, you can just add stuff with time, and just it's okay to not go for everything starting out. And I honestly think that's really helpful advice for just speedrunning in general. And I think learning this game was probably the biggest key to like me shifting my mentality in speedrunning to be more positive, because anybody who like nowadays people are like, oh, I never see you rage, you're so calm, and I'm just like, you should have seen me running like the Insane Trilogy and Crash 2 and 3 back in the day. I was like the biggest rager, and then I learned this game and it just got better.
Yeah, no, I fully feel that actually, because I think the more that you're able to accept, I always say it on my streams, of quote, accept being bad is how I try to phrase it, because ultimately, right, it's how you view it. It's how you view your own skills and stuff like that that matters. And when you're sitting there comparing yourself to others and trying to do all these high-level strats that maybe you're not ready for, it can be really easy to fall into this rabbit hole of like just getting upset at yourself for doing something that maybe you shouldn't be doing yet. Like,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in speedrunning that's just super difficult. This game's filled with it. Spyro's filled with it. Just about any speed game has something hard or something's hard.
Speaking of super difficult, this cycle I just caught in this room is like one of the hardest cycles in the game, and I just got it. So
yeah, we have to go. Yeah,
I was trying to talk a little bit that way you could lock in for it.
That
was insane.
That optimal cycle saves like 20 seconds, but it's really hard. And on Xbox, it's actually like borderline impossible. I think G-Pro's the only person who can actually get it, and he doesn't know how he does it.
This run has been genuinely insane. It's just constant go, 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 go.
Yeah, there isn't a moment of downtime really. Like there's like a little bit, but it's not like actual downtime. It's like
this game really doesn't have any downtime. Anyway, we're gonna come up to a moment of downtime.
Oh sweet, dude.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
So we're coming up to a mini boss fight with Engine. Engine has really, really good boss fights across the series. This is not one of them.
I'm
So yeah, he's gonna throw rockets at us, and we're gonna run away from them.
Oh, fire.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
You don't want to get hit by those.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm not an expert, though.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna stand right here. He's gonna shake his fist at us, go, "You rotten kids!" And he's gonna throw TNT at us, and we're gonna walk out of it. And then it's gonna destroy this leg of the crow's nest. Except for I missed somehow. This game sucks. So we have more downtime.
Lucky.
Mods, change the game.
Yep.
Um,
This is why I'm
so
retired.
well, we've got a moment here of downtime. Just gonna reiterate what I spoke on before. Ladies and gentlemen, we are raising money for the Able Gamers Foundation. And to put it very bluntly, we've done really great. We have absolutely pushed some boundaries with what a lot of people, I feel like, ourselves included, didn't think, we weren't sure if USC was capable of, and you guys have made it possible. However, we do have 2 more milestones on the table. At $4,500, if we get there, Shemp will do a 12-hour, or not 12-hour stream, really. It's going to probably be a bit longer. He'll be doing Sonic 06 All Emblems, which, if you've never played Sonic 06, it's
Yeah,
an experience.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get to weasel out either and play
No.
Project 06. You get to play actual Sonic 06. I'm not letting you do that. And also, if we hit 5,000, you will unlock a bonus day of the marathon where we will be streaming an entire extra day of runs, which we have prepped and ready. And I mean this sincerely, it's going to be sick if we get there. So please, please, please get your donations in and let's secure day 4. We're still an engine. We're still dodging rockets though.
Oh, this would have ended like 30 seconds ago if I didn't miss that first hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you
would do.
just bait him into breaking the crow's nest by hitting those TNTs.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Slice Sonic. Yeah, they said 06 180 is actually brutally long. That's insane.
All right, so this
Woo,
is
I'm
the
so excited.
this is the hardest chase sequence in the entire series. If you struggled with this casually, everybody did. It's like actually really, really cruel. Also, something of note with this level, High Seas Hijinks, this is the longest level in the game, and it doesn't have a save point except for at the beginning. So if you game over, you have to do all of it again.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, this is not a good level. Well, it's a good level. It's not a kind level. I'm actually playing this a little safe because I was flowing the movement. Yeah, I'm taking this very slowly. Especially because in this game, every slide jump is a huge commitment. So if you are like very reckless in this, you can like just very easily just run into a nitro or a hole and die. I don't think I learned this. I don't think I learned how to do this properly until like 2 or 3 years into being a runner of this game.
Man.
I'm assuming it's just not optimal at all to like hold on to zombie up until this point, just so you can just like blast through it without.
Yeah,
dying.
no, it's not realistic.
Okay,
The other route that I mentioned, the curse route, does hold zombie for a gigantic portion of the game, including this level, but it is extremely unforgiving. Like out of the game's 12 levels, you are not allowed to die in like 9 of them.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, that is cursed.
Yeah.
Yep, one dropped input. Yep, sure.
Yep, I killed a lot of runs just to like just one thing going wrong and dying, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I stopped.
No, it's totally understandable.
absolutely.
I think there's a lot to be said about quality of life and speedrunning because, I mean, ultimately we do it because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
And when you're at the point where you're like in a position where the run just isn't fun, why would you do that version of the route?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
It's definitely something to be said about that as a choice, and I actually love that you don't do that for the sake of A, your mental health, B, for the sake of your stream's entertainment. Which, by the way, everyone in chat, if we can get a slash shout out for Rico,
Absolutely.
they stream fairly regularly. I believe they will be taking a break from Crash in a little bit here, but
Yeah,
if you like
I
their
have
gameplay, if
I have
you
one
like
more
Crash in
marathon run in a
person-
month, and then after that I'll probably be doing a lot of other stuff.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Yeah.
By the way, this is
Regardless.
another downtime.
Okay.
We go from downtime into the hardest chase section in the series into downtime.
That's pretty awesome,
It's a reverse sandwich. I love that.
dude.
But yes, if you definitely want to check out Rico, She's an amazing streamer, also an amazing commentator. Like we're getting like Arctic levels of commentation, or commentary. That's awesome because there's a lot happening in this game, and she's keeping up like very, very, very well, which is actually insane because I'm still processing what's happening on screen.
Even 2 idiots interrupting her, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, actually, yeah. She's just kind of the goat, you know.
Yeah.
So absolutely go drop a follow, hop into streams, and you'll probably see me and Dylan there too. So be sure to say hi to us there when we're there.
Absolutely, and I know they're also an avid Yu-Gi-Oh enjoyer as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I was playing
what are we-
Yu-Gi-Oh earlier with my friend before this run.
Oh, dude, we were me and you know DC, right? I'm just DC.
Yeah.
By chance? We've been doing this little thing recently where we're doing like kind of a sealed and opening like old packs, and then doing it on Edo Pro and doing like we'll open like a booster box of like Legend of Blue Eyes, and we're going through like the entire set list and just opening like a box each of each one and just building decks and dueling sealed against each other more or less.
Yeah, I mostly do retro formats nowadays. I do Edison format. I used to play modern. I kind of fell off of it in the middle of the pandemic, and they recently released a card that is literally just the second coming of Max C, which if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what that card is, and if you ever ask me about that card, I will say that it deserves to burn in the pits of hell. So I'm probably not going back to modern anytime soon.
Understandable.
Yeah, I think I asked Dylan about modern, and you said something along the lines of like, yeah, every card is like a Bible's worth of text on it.
Dude, it's I mean this so sincerely. I can't like even fathom like trying to understand modern Yu-Gi-Oh at this point because I don't like reading. I don't like.
That's
like,
so real.
and there's so much text and so many like, little interactions. And when you're like doing a TCG, like I play like a lot of Magic more so I would say. I like keeping it simple, understanding the basics and the interactions. I enjoy that, learning that. But oh my god, Yu-Gi-Oh at this point takes it to like another level. And there's so many dumb pieces of interaction that exist now that you have to keep in mind at all times. And just, nah, dog, we're good.
So pros and cons. I just got a really hard cutscene skip. That was the good news. The bad news is that I forgot to get these 2 gems before it, which means I'm going to have to do it again.
It's okay.
So-
We can see more twins.
Yeah.
That's
you're
fine.
You're just gonna hit it again.
You're just gracing us with more Twinsanity, and I appreciate that.
Or I'll hit the cutscene, and the cutscene's pretty funny, so that works too.
Either way, we're winning. Like, I'm good. I'm good either way.
Yeah, I was supposed to come here first and get these 2 gems, and I forgot.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
It just happens.
There is a trick here that like saves 5 seconds and requires you to get the gem later, but you just like use a platform at the top to like drop down. It's like RNG and garbage, and it saves 5 seconds if you get it first try, and like Joe's the only person who actually does it. I did actually get it twice. I'm so good at this game.
You're so good at this
Let's
game.
go. Huge.
I'm also noticing that the respawn times in this game are like insanely fast.
Yeah. As long as you don't have to force a load screen, it respawns very quickly.
As long as you're keeping everything like RAM and just going forward.
Yeah, I'm pausing here to just make this door load faster. And then we have the most iconic cutscene in this game in my chat.
You monster!
Oh, I think I know what this one is.
I think I forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
Which cuts? Hold on, forget
Just,
this.
just, just,
Okay.
okay.
I just let it happen. He's dead.
Ruined! Thanks
no.
to
Oh,
Perky
no.
here. It must be repaired, and only one person can help. My niece, Nina Cortex. Isn't she
awesome.
delightful? Obviously, I've made a few modifications here and there. Quickly, to my private dirigible. Set a course for Madame Amberley's Academy of Evil.
I love this game so much.
It's so good.
This
It just is.
Come along!
So
This is genuinely.
you could actually, in most versions of the game, you could damage abuse off of Coco and just respawn at the checkpoint outside the lab here. The only version where you cannot do that is the PAL PS2 version. Guess what version I'm running?
Oh no.
There's a lot of really weird quirks that only affect the PAL PS2 version. They're all like really minor, so it doesn't really stop anything. PAL PS2 is actually like the most common way people run this game because it's among the most accessible, and most of the early runners of this game were in Europe and just didn't have an Xbox. So,
So there's not really much version difference between the two.
gameplay wise, not really. The one key thing is that regardless, you want to run the game at 50 frames per second, because when you run it at 60, there's something called the slide glitch, where sometimes your slide just goes in the wrong direction It's not random, but it's very obnoxious. And
okay,
playing at 50 just makes it so you don't have to deal with that. And there's some tricks in any percent that only work at 50.
Okay, so it's kind of similar because having like the PAL version specifically of games around this era being the better version of speed games is kind of rare, I would say. But I recently learned that in one of my speed games, Spider-Man on Dreamcast, I learned that the Dreamcast version, for whatever reason, plays at 60 frames, and that's like the preferred way. So I don't know why that's a thing, but I'm gonna have to go get a European copy.
Yeah. The Xbox version is actually region free, so you can play the NTSC version on a PAL Xbox and it runs at 50, and that's the optimal setup for the other route for this game because the credits are shorter and you do have to watch the credits.
Is that only for this game? That to be region free, or is that Xbox?
It's just the Xbox. The PS2 version is region locked.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know the Xbox was region free. Okay, that's
I think
interesting.
it's game dependent.
Oh, game dependent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say like a game around this time being region free is very rare.
I'm doing very specific out of bounds here. First, I want to be able to get 5 of the 6 gems in this hub before I do anything. The last one you can't get until you're ready to leave. And then I'm breaking this checkpoint. This is actually the second level in the hub, Classroom Chaos. I'm just breaking the checkpoint at the start of it, and I'm leaving. Because the next level we're gonna do is Boiler Room Doom, and this is the other level where we use Zombie. And the game plan is I'm going to go through the entirety of Boiler without breaking a single checkpoint, Death Abuse after getting all 6 gems, and then it'll put me back in Classroom Chaos. And that makes it so you don't have to finish Boiler, which is important because the end of Boiler has a very, very long boss fight with Dingodile, which it's like actually like a 3+ minute fight. And just doing Zombie makes it so you don't have to worry about it. So the scariest part of Boiler is probably this opening right here. There's a world checkpoint which does trigger in Zombie, and the range for it is gigantic, so I have to do a very specific long jump to get around it, and if I mess this up, I'll have to load it back up. Well, I didn't hit the checkpoint, but I did die, so that loses time, but I don't have to reset yet.
Okay. Are you past the state where you have to worry about backup saves?
This is probably the last point.
Okay.
The rest of the run after this is pretty stable. I do have some just in case something horrendous goes wrong, but I probably will not need them after this level.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean by the load times. Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
this load is probably the single biggest reason that Xbox saves a large amount of time in 100% specifically. That load on Xbox hard drive is like 3 seconds long.
Does playing on a PS3 from the PS2 version affect anything, or no?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does playing this game or this version of the game on PS3 affect anything, or no?
It's funny you asked that. I've actually been messing with that for the past week because I managed to borrow my friend's BC PS3. And it's pretty underexplored. What I can say is that the loads are noticeably faster, but the cycles are like the Xbox cycles, which are much worse for the 2 levels I mentioned. And they're technically faster, but it's way harder, and it's overall probably more worth it to just run on OPL, which you lose a little bit of time, but you have better cycles.
It's funny because if you look at like the backwards compatibility list for the PS3, Crash Twinsanity is one of the ones that's listed as incompatible or something like that.
Yeah,
like
so
it's very buggy.
It depends on the model of PS3 you have. If you have one of the earliest models that does hardware backwards compatibility, it works completely fine. If you have one of the ones that does software emulation, it crashes when you try to leave this hub. So you have to have you have to have one of the earliest models to do any run that requires you to leave this hub, which is all of them except for any percent and the other route of 100%.
Ah, I see. So even if PS3 was like slightly faster, it wouldn't be like recommended because of like having to shill out the money for a backwards compatible early model like that.
Yeah, literally, if you're ever gonna put in that much that much effort into like running this game optimally, just buy Xbox.
Yeah, at that point, just buy Xbox.
Yeah.
Get used to the slightly harder out of bounds, but it'd be more optimal for the time save. I agree. So while we line this jump up again, let's see if we. Yeah, so while we line this up again, I want to remind you guys that we do have those donation milestones. 4,500 for me to do that Sonic 06 run. There's a dreaded Sonic 06 run. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. And if you get to the $5,000 milestone, then we will do a bonus day 4 with a lot of really interesting runs. So make sure ! Donate to get those donations in before the final run after Rico here. The mystery one that we definitely didn't say by accident.
Yeah, I definitely didn't say the name twice.
Nope.
Or 3 times even. Anyway, it's going to be a really cool run, but also please, please, please get your donations ASAP. Rocky. We want to be able to support Able Gamers as much as we can, folks. And if we can get to that $5,000 marker again, day 4 will be unlocked. So, yeah, Rico, again, I keep reiterating this, and I feel like it's a broken record statement here, but Twinsanity is just a fun game to watch because, again, the downtime in it, even when it is downtime, which, you know, you did mention there's a little bit, it doesn't feel like downtime.
No, absolutely not.
And the parts that, like, are as action-packed genuinely make this run, like, really, really sick. So I'm just really enjoying the run.
Yeah, we unfortunately glossed over the only funny fart joke to ever exist, which was in the cutscene where Cortex gets stuck in the pipe. We had to trigger that cutscene because, again, we threw Cortex into the cutscene trigger and died at the same time. So we're now in Zombie, and we will be using that for this entire level.
I see that. Yeah, I just saw you go through the nitros.
Yeah. So again, the game plan is to just get all 6 gems and then Death of Use.
So many just invisible hitboxes. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm standing on a platform that just takes a while to load in.
Oh, there it is. Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a slightly faster strat you can do there where you can just land on the platform that Cortex lands on. It's like slightly more risky. If you do it right, it's no risk at all. I'm very good at not doing it right, so I'd rather not risk dying and having to go back to the beginning of the level.
Okay, I see.
And this level has a weird quirk where if you walk forward enough and the game realizes you don't have Cortex attached to you, it will just attach Cortex to you. Because you're supposed to use them to like just clear this level. Alright, so coming up, I think there's only 2 gems left. Unfortunately, the end of this level is also very scary. I'm going to be doing a trick called Pipe OOB, and it's just going to let me get the last gem out of bounds and just skips 2 puzzles entirely. But if I mess it up and die, then I just leave the level. If that happens, I'll probably just keep going. It's not worth doing the whole level again.
Okay, I understand.
I don't know how I feel about that bug setup. We're just gonna play.
Okay, I believe in you. I believe in the game. The heart of the cards.
Okay, we're good.
All right, there we go.
We're not in the clear yet. I have to get a body slam off of Cortex's head. The game doesn't like you jumping off of Cortex. You're actually not supposed to. But if you jump right as you walk off of his head, it gives you a jump, and that's what we have to do to get this. And also, he likes to do animations, and that messes things up.
Oh, so the hitboxes are actually tied to the model. They're not just like an actual box. Okay, yeah.
Okay, actually, I said we should be safe. That's a lie. We still got more going on. I'm gonna be once again walking across a very thin pixel. All right, now I think we might be safe. Yep. So the last gem in the level is here, and then we just Death of Use, and this takes us out of Boiler and back to Classroom, so we don't have to fight Dingo Dial. Or do the entire last puzzle of the level.
So, quick question since we're here: How often is this game showcased in marathons? Because I'm very interested in making this like
very rarely.
Rarely. Okay.
Joe's been trying to get it into GDQ for years. He's gotten it as a backup a couple times, but it's never actually gotten in. I ran it at Pace a few years ago.
Yeah.
Joe has run 100% at ESA, and then Sustain has run all levels at ESA, and then I think also Smarkin has done any %, and that's about it. And then there's this.
Okay, yeah, and then there's this, and then, like, absolutely, feel free, anyone else to, if you have any sort of Crash or Twinsanity runs, please submit them to USC, because, you know, me and Dylan love Twinsanity, and if we can fit it in the schedule, absolutely, we're going to try our best to fit it in the schedule.
Yeah, so from this point on, the run actually becomes really straightforward. Like, Classroom Chaos is like a massive break compared to everything before it.
This all you gotta do is just like go forward, right?
Most of this is just like clean platforming. There is a trick in like the middle of the level, but even then, after you do it, it's still just really straightforward. And then I'm gonna do a long jump here to just bypass this, just having to break down that bookcase. This is also supposed to be another stealth section, but the first time these hall monitors try to look up, they take forever before they actually do it, and you can just slide jump past them before they ever look at you. So this room is actually probably the coolest room in the game. Just the platforming here is really sick if you do it right.
Let me see. Oh my lord. Oh my god. I saw the wraparound.
Oh, save that. Okay. Alright, and there's one more gem right here. And that is the first half of Classroom Chaos done. There is a second half where you play as Cortex. Cortex is really, really slow, and I don't like playing as him, so I'm not going to.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay. Just opt out.
Yeah, so you can just get on this door frame with a body slam. There's a cutscene trigger right here. I'm going to jump over it. And then that's what makes you gain control of Cortex. And then I just land here to trigger this area loading in. And we're doing Cortex's section as Crash. Also, we're out of bounds.
It just keeps going. It just keeps stacking. Yep. But while you're out of bounds, we do have a donation from Stuart, good old Stuart from earlier, with a $10 donation saying, "Twins is goated. Keep up the good work, Kylie, Dylan, and Shemp, and Drawnall, my goats. Remember, guys, if we hit the 5K goal, I will run Bash 8% on day 4, and maybe an incentive for letting you guys choose my character." Pause.
That sounds like a plan to me. We'll actually get that incentive up now as a poll, so any donations will go towards that. I'm gonna go through the character list. We'll put that as a poll right now. Please, please, please get your donations in ASAP Rocky for that. I'm gonna go through and add that now. Rico, continue cooking them.
Yep. Thank you for the donation, Stu. Stu is an absolute legend. Truly one of the coolest people in the community. All right, so I have to actually go back inbounds here to grab this gem. And then I'm going to go back out of bounds because as if this game didn't have enough, we're about to go to a wrong warp. So if you just go out of bounds here and then you just go through this section. Oh, I think I might have messed it up, actually. I think I soft locked.
Oh.
Well, I have a backup save for this part.
I was about to ask.
I need to check which memory card it is. I have it listed on my phone. Let's just listen to the music while I'm figuring this out.
Okay, I'm bopping.
Yeah, so this game's pretty safe after Boilers soft locks in the next level. Where is it? There it is. Start classroom. Start a Cortex. I have a whole ass chart for this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this will take us back to the start of the Cortex section. Yeah, it's this one.
I did see that someone in chat, I can't see them now because the chat went by, but someone did say that there was a mega sheet in the Crash, I guess, Twinsanity Discord where they log every marathon that the game has been showcased in, which is absolutely amazing. And also, it's really cool that USC gets to be part of that now.
Yeah, yeah, a member of the community, Atomical Sloss, a while ago made an entire Google spreadsheet called Twinsanity spreadsheet of everything you need to know, and it is literally a spreadsheet of everything you need to know.
That's awesome.
All right, so we're just gonna do all this again when the camera works. I know the floor is really, really pretty, Crash, but we gotta go.
The floor looks beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, is the marathon runs one not part of the sheet? Oh, it should be. I guess there's another sheet that also lists marathon runs. I thought they were the same sheet.
Oh, the marathon runs specifically. Oh, I see.
All right, so I guess I kind of didn't mention here we're going around this room. There's like 3 of these frog rooms where you have to kill a certain amount of what look like frogs, I think. I'm not really sure. We call them frogs. We skipped the first two. We have to do the last one because there's the last gem in the level is after it, so we can't just skip it out of bounds.
Oh, I see. One of those like mandatory ones.
Yeah, you skip it in all levels because you don't need the gem, but in Hundo you have to do the last room.
See, this is what I like.
Oh, Dio was saying he was the one who added the marathon runs to the sheet. So Sloss made the sheet. Dio added the marathon runs to the sheet.
Oh, I see. Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, so we'll try this again, and hopefully I won't soft lock. Admittedly, the way I did the movement there was actually horrible. Okay, yeah, so there was the wrong warp. That just skipped like 1 or 2 sections of the level for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. It just happens.
Was that a known soft lock area?
Probably. I've probably done it before and just forgot. All right, so I'm gonna do a long jump here. This will take us to the frog room, but I have to walk here to just trigger it. All right, so I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, we should be good. So a certain number of frogs need to spawn for the door to open, and if you kill 24, that's usually enough for the door to open. Also, I realized that at no point in this run have I mentioned that the game does have crystals.
You're right.
They're not needed for 100%. We actually skip 4 of them.
What do they do? Are they just there to like unlock things?
They're plot devices that lose relevance halfway through the game.
Oh, that's awesome. I just forgot about it.
Yep, they're just... You need 6 to power the machine that takes you to the last hub, and then the machine breaks, which is why we're here. We're picking up Nina, who's this character. Also, Cortex is supposed to be talking to her, but because we did the level was Crash, she's just dancing by herself.
Oh,
and Crash was looking in the background. Yeah, like Cortex is supposed to be talking to her the whole time, but he's not there.
That's interesting that it doesn't have like cutscene characters loaded in. It actually just uses the player model. That's really funny.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, Nina's cool. Nina's gameplay is really cool.
Yeah, Nina's kind of like, if you, for people who saw the Crash 4 run earlier, she's kind of the precursor to Tana. They play pretty similarly with like the grapple.
Yeah. She just doesn't have like a roundhouse kick.
Yeah. Well, she has like a Crash spin, but she has the grapple.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, we'll see it for sure. Also, I feel like this is the best time to talk about a neat little fact about the game's soundtrack. This game's soundtrack is entirely a cappella. And I say that
doesn't know, it's amazing.
I say that specifically because listen to this song, and this does not sound like a cappella, but it is.
No,
like they were just that talented.
There are no instruments used during this during the soundtrack.
I think there was like some synthesis going on in like post production, but like it's all vocals. But yeah, this level is extremely straightforward. So I'm probably just gonna try and think of anything I failed to mention. You say like with the crystals, there's supposed to be 12 of them. Classroom Chaos actually has 2, but only one of them counts. But you also don't need them for 100% anyway. We skip like 3 or 4 of them throughout the whole run. The only ones you get are the ones that are literally unmissable. Because they tend to have really big hitboxes, so you generally only miss them if you skip the cutscene where you get them or you're out of bounds.
Okay, I see. And just to let everybody know real fast, after this run and our Super Mystery No One Knows bonus run after Rico here, all of the USC 2 limited time merch is going to be going away forever after today if we don't hit that day 4. So, just in case we don't hit day 4, make sure you head on over to ultimatespeedrun.store and pick up a lot of that limited time merch before it goes away forever. All of the proceeds from those lines of merch go straight to the charity. So, absolutely head on over there ASAP Rocky.
Yes. And also, just do exclamation mark donate and donate to the charity. Come on, now, go rolling. Yeah, I love how goofy the soundtrack is for Twins.
So fun.
Like it's so fun, so whimsical. That's like one of the biggest things I think is a major selling point of the game for me. Like you can just listen to the soundtrack and you're just gonna smile the whole time.
I like imagining there's just some guy in the board meeting. He's like, oh, there's this band I really like. They're really cool. Do you just want to like hit them real fast?
It would be hilarious if that was actually how they got Spiral Mouth.
I got a feeling that someone was like, guys, this would be a really cool idea. Like, hear me out. What if it was all acapella?
Also, you know how I said High Seas Hijinks only had 1 save point throughout the entire run? Mm-hmm. This level has like 4 save points.
Good lord.
Yeah,
I
I
don't. Or is it that forgiving?
It's that forgiving. Like, it's long, but it's not as long as High Seas Hijinks.
They just accidentally put them here. They meant to put them on the
Yeah.
other level.
So coming up at this purple gem, there is a jump you can do that can save 15 seconds if you get it. It's almost never gone for in runs because it's not worth it, so I'm going to go for it.
Okay, sweet.
Not like fire.
So you hit it first try. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, I promise.
No, I didn't
She's
get a
goated.
jump.
She's goaded.
I didn't get a jump.
She's still goaded, regardless.
I kind of want to try it again, though.
Yeah, do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the reason
the
reason it's so hard is that Nina has a glitch where she can actually double jump out of a grapple, which you're not supposed to be able to do with her. And you can use the momentum from the grapple to just land on the other side. But if you do it too early, then you get the like auto kill failsafe, and if you do it too late, then you don't get the jump. So that's why it's usually only really done as a last resort. But I'm gonna try it again. Yeah, okay, I got the auto kill. Okay, got the basic idea. I'm gonna just do the level normally now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah. So the first attempt I did it too late, so I didn't get the double jump, and then the second attempt I did it too early, so I got the double jump, but I was too high up.
That's fine. You still got a way to showcase it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
We at least know how it's done.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to show it off the second time. The first time you couldn't really tell what I was doing, but
I really
like after that
appreciate
first one, like you got the basic idea. If you do it right, you just land there and you just keep going.
Yeah, it's really nice that you did that. So that, like, even though you didn't get it, you still wanted to show it off just in case. I love that.
Also, these weird alien-looking guys are the ants that I talked about earlier. They usually show up when the game's main villains, the evil twins, are involved. This is like the one level where they show up, but the evil twins don't. We also don't really see the evil twins at all until the end of the game, at the final boss, because outside of the final boss, they only ever show up in FMVs, and we skip all of those. Oh, this door is taking forever. There we go. I'm low on lives, so I'm going to get this one right here.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice. Oh, my lord.
Yeah.
Is that common to be that low, or is that, like, abnormally low?
It usually means you died a lot.
Oh, yeah. Not imagine.
Which I did die a number of times in Boiler and then just now in Rooftop.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Also, I don't know how many lives my backup save had, so that could have also been a factor. Yeah, so this is another chase section. This one is also pretty hard, but not as bad as the Walrus one. This one is more so you just can't stop. Otherwise, the bus catches up with you, but it's not, like, difficult, like, platforming. I see Rijiku in chat saying no bus skip. I'm actually really sorry. I was going to try it just for you, and then I forgot. But there's a way to skip.
No, you're good.
There's a way to skip that bus cutscene, and it saves like 9 seconds, but you only have one shot at it. So I'm actually going to death abuse here. On the PS2 version, if you don't death abuse, then all of the Wumpa Fruit you leave behind during the bus chase overloads the console. So that, combined with all the ants here that we don't kill because it's slow, it just crashes the game at the end of the level. So the death abuse just avoids that.
Oh my. Oh, okay. That's actually really interesting that it does that with the specifically with the fruit.
Yeah, it's also like specifically the PS2 version of the game because I've also gotten it on OPL and PS3. It's just the Xbox version doesn't have to worry about it. So the Xbox version is pretty good, and I hate it. I hate it despite being one of the first runners who switched from PS2 to Xbox. Like, I actually think I was the first PS2 runner to make that switch, and now I'm like the one PS2 runner who absolutely hates it. Yeah. I waited on that cycle because the room on the other side takes longer to load, and for some reason it actually just saves time to wait an extra cycle. So this is the second to last boss fight in the run. This is Madame Amberly. She's the headmistress of this school. This fight casually is pretty rough because you kind of have to like dodge her like activating these organ pipes. There's a really cool but tricky way to just cheese this fight, so hopefully I get it. So the way you do this is you stand in place. And that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so fire.
Awesome.
I love this boss. This is such a good boss.
I forget what other think of like another speed game with this. There's one where you do the exact same thing. You just stand in place.
You just stand in
I can't remember which one it is though.
Yeah.
That's a sick boss fight though.
Yeah, so this fight becomes very trivial just by doing this. I am going to pay attention, though, because if I do the positioning wrong, she can actually start firing at other organs. And if I do that, I have to do the fight normally. But once she targets the same pipe twice, it's good as long as I don't move. But I can also accidentally just strafe left and right with Cortex, because that's what the shoulder buttons do. And if I do that, she starts firing at the other pipes. So, and then you just have to destroy all these bells and then hit the thing on the back of her back. I don't know what that is. It's her support ropes.
I love that Sonic kind of predicted this because they said, excited for this exciting Amberly fight.
Oh yeah, no, Sonic knows this run because they've been learning it. So
we got teas in chat. We got teas in chat. Everybody teas. That's awesome. We got T-Bows and Coco in chat.
one more phase here.
I can't get over how good this is. This is awesome. This is like the epitome of Twinsanity.
This whole run is the epitome of Twinsanity. It's honestly been a really great marathon showcase so far.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic.
Yep. So Cortex literally just committed murder.
Oh, fire.
We never see her again after this at all.
Oh.
Oh, she fell.
Miss you.
Yeah,
Miss you.
So hopefully right here. Out of ammo.
Oh my god. Can't believe it. He's out of ammo.
Oh man, it's all gone.
And then he started blasting.
Yeah, so that waited a little bit for that door to open. So this is the end of the hub, but I do need to get the last gem. I cannot catch that elevator, so I just have to wait. So I'm just going to grab this life. That loses no time. Fun fact, I found out when messing with BCPS3, this cycle is actually faster on BCPS3, which is weird because it's not faster on Xbox.
That is like selectively loading global cycles or something like that.
I don't know. It just loads faster on BCPS3 for some reason. But yeah, that was Academy of Evil. So we have one more hub after this, and thankfully Hub 4 is actually probably the easiest one.
I feel like it's been a while since I've seen Crash.
Yes. We'll see him for the majority of this hub, but then the final boss will not be Crash, which I used to think was weird, but he gets the entire last level to himself, so I think it's fair for the other two characters to get the final boss.
Yeah,
also, swag crawl.
Swag crawl.
That trick is actually pivotal to the any % run.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just gonna very quickly shamelessly plug. I made an entire world record history video for any % on my YouTube, and it is, in my humble opinion, the best video I've ever made. So if you want to learn about the any % history of this game, I would check that video out.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Same name as your Twitch, right?
Yep.
Rico_KSB. Sweet.
Yep. I'm gonna try a cutscene skip here real quick, so hopefully I get it.
Okay, let's see.
But we ran out of
Yeah, so you can jump in this cutscene right before it starts, and then no, I didn't get it right. I got the movement, but then I walked into the cutscene, so
Yeah.
it's okay. This cutscene's great.
Bro, same. Cortex.
That's what I do.
That's what I'm saying.
That's me with. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so ideally I would have walked around the cutscene trigger, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, also this is like one of my favorite songs in the game, and you only hear it right here.
It is a banger, to be fair.
Yes, Sonic said Hub 4 has so many straight up bangers.
Yeah, I used to sing along to this song every time I got to it, but I have vocal dysphoria now, so I probably won't do it anymore.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like thank you. Looks like
Someone pay for my voice training, please.
Looks like Ella plugged your YouTube channel.
Thank you, Ella. I haven't uploaded anything in a while, and I plan on making an update video as to the reason why. But yeah, no, I plan on doing stuff soon. I was actually really burned out after that Twinsanity video because I put so much effort into it. I felt like I kind of just needed to take the whole year off.
Yeah.
All right. So.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So coming up here might actually be the easiest level in the run, which is wild. This is Rock Slide Rumble. It's basically Slip Slide Ice Capades again. You can tell with this hub that they were so out of time because the first two levels are just reskins of previous levels in the game. And then the last level, Antagony, is just the greatest banger that any developer for this series has ever made. Like, it is my favorite level in the series. It's like all of the last month of development went into Antagony, and it was just crazy how good it came out.
Like, you know, there's stories about this game like Rush Productions, and the fact that it even
jeez, I missed that jump. That actually was not my fault. That is like the one thing I can say is not my fault. That ant just got in the way.
Yep.
So this is the easiest level in the game, but I hate it because it always goes wrong for things you can't really control. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was close.
Also, weirdly enough, like Slip Slide, there's like one gem at the beginning, and then the rest of the gems are at the end. Rock Slide is the opposite. All the gems are at the beginning, and then the back half of the run just has nothing. Also, this is a lot of people's favorite song in the game, and it's very understandable. It's like in my top 3 or 5. I don't even know how I did that. I was just trying to get a mask. Anyway, this is the easiest level in the game.
Yeah, I can tell.
Well, since it's so easy, really quick, just to reiterate about what we're here for, folks. We're here raising money for the Able Gamers Foundation. We've been doing it for the last 3 days now, and we are coming to the end of USC as we know it. Will we hit 5K? Won't we hit 5K? It depends on you guys. And the best way that you can support us is obviously through donations directly to the Able Gamers Foundation. And if you are able to, of course, please share the stream around. Please share it with people. We want to get as many eyes on our runners as possible, just in general, across all USC events. However, we are close to the end here, folks. We're going to have one more bonus run after this, of course. And if we can hit 5K, we will, of course, do a bonus day of runs altogether. So please get your donations in. ! Donate in the chat. And yeah, check it out. Check out all the incentives. We got some awesome stuff there for day 4 plan. Please check them out.
Yeah, that last death was me cutting the turn a little too early. Like I did it too tight. But it wasn't that bad. It was right after a checkpoint, so.
Okay. It was fine.
For as much as I say this is the easiest level in the game, and I do think that, I am quite notoriously awful at this level. I lose time here a lot. But yeah, that was Rock Slide Rumble. We got a little bit of climbing to do before we get to the next level. So the next part is actually it's supposed to be the main hub of this hub, and then it'll be the next 2 levels. They kind of get melded into the same split in runs because there's no good place to split otherwise.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So we don't have a Twinsanity Island split like we do the other hubs. We just have a split for the 3 levels. All right, so doing some scenery jumps here. We're going to skip a puzzle here.
John also said, I keep hearing the rail grinding sound. It makes me crack up because it's just so insanely loud.
Yeah.
So
also,
funny.
the rail grind, the first one, is so long that I was able to do like a 360 camera on it.
Oh, I thought that was just part of the game.
No, that was me.
That. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was me holding left on the analog stick.
Cinematic shots. I love that.
So again, we're going to just bypass this gem puzzle, and then also Death Abuse, which takes us back to the checkpoint. Okay, so this is the worst gem casually. Look at that puzzle. You have to guide that ball across those platforms, across that moving platform to land on a slot there to open this force field. It is the worst. The one time I tried it, it took 30 minutes. I don't want to do it.
I think casually, I'll just learn this. I'll just learn to skip. just not do this.
Yeah, literally just do a minimum height body slam. Like jump and immediately body slam, and you get that. Also, I'm gonna rant right here. Before I started running this game, that the strat for that gem was to do a maximum height body slam. I could never get that for the life of me, so I just tried doing a minimum body slam, which you do for a gem later in the game. And that is the only way I've ever gotten that to be consistent. And I have preached this for 5 years, and maybe 3 people total have listened to me.
There they are.
So this is me saying it to 749 people. Do a minimum height body slam there. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're wrong.
You heard it here first.
All right, we're gonna do another puzzle skip here. If I could actually land on the platform. All right, so we can walk under this and just grab the hitbox with the body slam. That one doesn't save a huge amount of time. For a long time, I actually just did that puzzle. It's not really that difficult of one, but the clear jump one, you absolutely just do the skip. Even casually, just do the skip. It's miserable. So fun fact that there's a bingo goal because this game does have a bingo board. One of the bingo goals is to get every single gem in this hub without bypassing the force fields. So that's fun.
I love speedrun bingo.
So this is another escort
bingo is
mission,
sick.
like the one in the first hub. Once again, we are not going to be doing it. So this one has a lot more jagged like platform layout than the other one, so it's a bit harder, but I've practiced this enough where ideally I won't mess it up. I say as I almost mess it up.
Watching, we're cheering, we're hoping. Mods, cheer for her.
Mods. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm jumping in specific spots that dodge the chase trigger from happening. So in this level, Cortex is being chased by Evil Crash, ideally, but we haven't seen him. There is a very funny glitch on this version of the game that we unfortunately won't see, but sometimes on the PAL version, when Cortex is being chased by Evil Crash just starts spinning around in circles and doesn't actually chase Cortex. It's really, really funny, but we don't see it.
Oh man.
That's a shame.
Oh.
That's really, really funny.
Alright, so I want to do a long jump here. Dodges that. There's one gem right here. You can see where the level area stops and just becomes void. There was just like a line there. This level used to be the bane of my existence because one of the issues I had with Xbox is that a lot of the controllers have a tendency to dead zone just because the calibration just isn't fit for the Xbox version. Mm-hmm. And it took me literal years to find a controller that hasn't like shat itself after like 3 attempts. And I would always dead zone moving left, and that is the one level in the game where you constantly have to move left, so it would regularly just kill all my runs. And Sloss actually made a route where you get all the gems in that level but skip the bulk of it just for the sake of me not having to do that. And then I just found a controller that works. So
that's fire dedication.
Yeah, so this is another just minimal height body slam. I used to be a lot better at these. There we go.
After we end the day, I might look up a clip of Red Crash spinning around. That's kind of really funny.
Last gem here. We're going to line up here, and then the body slam will... You can actually bounce off the sides of arrow crates in this game, so that's what you do there is just body slam, and then Crash's nose touches the arrow crate and he bounces up. You don't want to double jump there, though, because then you'll trigger a flop. If Crash lands from too high but not high enough to die, he'll just flop. And it takes like a second and a half to pick up. Right there, he'll flop, and then he'll touch the nitro and die. So you just want to do a single jump there.
I remember seeing the flop early in the run, but him getting up and touching the nitro was really funny.
Yeah, we did the flop in Totem Hokum to get back in bounds, and that's the only time you do it intentionally that I can think of. All right, so this is the last level. This is Antagony. This is the coolest level in the run. This is the coolest level in the series.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, listen, I like it a lot. So
I don't
disagree at all.
I don't think I remember it. Let me see.
Yeah, so straight up, there is a glitch that plagues only the PAL PS2 version here. We have to kill this bomb-throwing ant. If we don't, there's a chance he'll walk forward. He's supposed to pick up the bomb, but his AI is broken in this version. He'll just keep walking forward, and if he touches the door that you entered through, the game crashes. So you just have to kill him to be safe.
Oh, that's it.
And unfortunately means we can't do a trick to like freeze a ball in midair and use it as a platform that you use on other versions of the game, but it's like a really minor time loss.
This is pretty involved tricks that are only exclusive to certain regions too.
Yeah. Also, if you ever watch any %, this is the only level you will ever see, because this is the only level that's done in any %.
Yep.
Also, this level got broken further in any % recently. They started taking Cortex into this level, and it's so much faster, but it's so much more wild. Yeah, so you're supposed to break down those force fields by breaking the 3 glass bulbs, but it's faster to just jump over it.
It's really interesting that they don't have like a hitbox going past it, but that's cool.
No Invisible Walls is ideal at Crash 4. I love that game, but I hate that it has so many invisible walls now after all the patches.
So thankfully, like the PC version doesn't have any of the like walls that they patched in, and also even on like the next gen consoles, we found workarounds for all the skips. But yeah, it does suck that they tried to patch them out.
Yeah,
and kind of
because I feel like they knew that they only for speedrunners. Really.
It's that, and they did it after like I had showcased the run on IGN, so it kind of felt targeted.
Wait, I'm sorry, for which game?
For Crash 4.
It's about time.
Oh.
Like, they added some, like, invisible... The one I remember very distinctly is, I think is it called Road Crash? It might not be Road Crash. It's the one with the giant, like, bulldozer that chases you.
Oh, Hit the Road. No, that one actually wasn't
Hit the
patched.
Road, yeah. Wasn't there, like, I
There's a skip there, but it wasn't patched. They patched the ones in Run It Bayou, Dragon On, and
yeah, Dragon On. I remember.
It was Run It Bayou, Dragon On, and Nitro Processing. But the one in Nitro Processing, we already found a faster version anyway, and they didn't patch that one out. They just patched out the easy skip. So yeah, so that ant fight there, I had to kill 4 of the ants. They die faster if you body slam them, so that's why I was doing that the way I did.
Sweet. Let's go.
These platforms always move in the pattern of red, green, blue, yellow, and they're throughout the entire run. So I'm gonna do.
Are these on Global Cycle?
I think it's like when you get near them.
Okay, so it's like it's player based. Okay.
Yeah. So here's gonna be a first big wall climb. This is gonna skip a lot of the platforming, and we're gonna do this for like most of the rest of this level.
It's going up.
I will say, even casual,
Crash just goes
even
up.
without these wall like these wall walks, this is still my favorite level in the game or in the series. Like the actual like casual way to do these levels is also sick as hell. But this is just faster.
Dylan's favorite thing, ascending.
Yep.
Damn.
Look at her go.
I genuinely mean this when I say like my favorite thing about like I think most speed games, it's just a common theme. You'll always just go up at some point, and that's kind of a big skip in every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in different ways. You know, Roxy's in Spyro, wall jumping in Twinsanity, NSJ's in Crash Twinsanity.
Okay. I didn't catch the cycle. My movement wasn't that good, and I just didn't want to risk it.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, that's a very tight one if you don't have the right movement for it. Probably only loses like a couple seconds to miss it though. And we used the long jump to get here. There's supposed to be a puzzle you do, and then we're gonna again do some more jumping along the wall.
If you also like big uppies as much as Dylan J. Fox here, then you're gonna want to make sure we get our day 4 incentive, because I will be doing an Uncharted run, and if you're not familiar with that game, going up is a very common theme.
Yes.
You go up very, very fast.
There's a lot of really sick games for day 4 if we of course get there. So please get your donations in, and let's secure this day 4, and at least get Shem to do an All Emblems run of Sonic 06. If there's anyone who deserves that, it's Shem.
Oh, thanks, man. I
No,
really appreciate that.
I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do, absolutely. You're thinking of me.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of you. I'm thinking of the people.
I'm thinking of you falling over.
I'm thinking about doing what Crash does to Cortex in the snowboarding levels to you.
Wait, hold on. Which part?
You'll find out.
No.
This section genuinely confused me so much when I was casually playing this
Oh
game.
yeah, this can be rough.
I am so like done with anything that's like remotely like.
Let's see if I get an RNG
pattern-based.
trick here.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I got it. So if the game lags on the exact frame where the ball goes into the socket, the ball doesn't go into the socket, but the puzzle, like the door still opens, and then I can just respawn the ball and then just use it for one of these sockets, and it saves like 6 seconds. But I didn't get it,
that's
so
interesting.
yeah, I didn't get it, so we have to just do this normally. It was funny. I was doing prep, I think like 2 streams ago, and I got the ball glitch, and then I died, and then I got the ball glitch again.
Hey, easy things for the goat, you know?
Yeah.
No nuts, or no
What?
nuts
I'm
skip,
sorry?
but no ball glitch.
What? Hold on.
No, we're talking about nuts skip from earlier.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah. Who in the chat likes Spyro the Dragon? He's in
okay.
this cutscene that's
Okay.
coming up.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so I skipped that cutscene.
Oh. Come on.
What's the point, man?
Point.
Guys,
Can we donate to get some more Spyro?
can we donate the way we watch the cutscene after the run?
Yeah,
I
if
would
someone donates
I would have to
$100,
go back to the like I'd have to go through the whole level again to do that.
it's
Oh,
like-
don't worry. I meant we'll like pull it up on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, we'll totally not pull it up on YouTube and totally just
I mean,
prop it in.
you'll go back.
Yeah.
You'll do
You have
the-
a backup save. It's specifically for that cutscene. No, I got you.
Yeah, you'll do Dragon On skip, as
Yeah.
in Dragon On the cutscene.
There you go.
Yeah, so I paused there to load in the last section, and it also saw 93%, which means I have every gem. So the last 70% will come from
nice.
beating this boss. Yeah, so this is a 3-phase boss. The first phase you do as Nina, the second phase you do as Cortex, and then the third phase you do as Crash piloting the Mecha Bandicoot, which was the first boss fight that we didn't see because I skipped it.
Oh, you know, little encore.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to break these energy pylons with Nina. You can double jump to like get by a little faster. This is also one of my favorite boss fights in the series. I think it's really good.
Everyone is loving this boss music.
It just is the best soundtrack.
Yeah.
Crash. It's just not even a disputable idea. Like, there might be better songs in other games, but the overall soundtrack for this game is just beast.
It's one that you just pop on it at like any sort of setting, and everyone just starts bobbing their heads and hanging out.
Yeah. So the second phase is kind of similar to like Engine in Crash 2, where you have to break both of his arms. That sounded so weird.
Awesome.
That sounded so weird out of
so
context.
Cool.
Yeah, just break his arms, dude.
All you gotta do is break his neck and snap his wrists. Crash goes hard. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually use this time to explain the last phase. The last phase is you use Mecha Bandicoot to launch missiles at the giant robot through a force field. This used to require walking around, but in the past like 2 or 3 weeks, G-Pro found a way to just bypass the force field. I'm just gonna tap forward and hold diagonal down left on the analog stick, and it should work. So, yep. And time.
Oh, well, oh my lord.
That was very, very quick. GG first and foremost.
GG. And done.
And done.
And that was Crash Twinsanity 100%.
Yes.
Consi-
That was
considering,
a phenomenal showcase.
yeah, considering the one backup save I had to do and the couple 2-minute deaths I had, I'd say that it was overall really good.
Fantastic run, absolutely. A fantastic showcase of this game too to everyone in chat.
Yeah, like I said it to Shemp, like the reason I reached out to you specifically, Rico, is because A, I know you are very good at this game. B, I love Twinsanity, and I just wanted to showcase it because, again, it is just a sick game, and it's honestly one of the less loved Crash games for whatever reason.
Yeah, this is like, this is probably, I call this the most divisive Crash game. You have people who love it to death and swear by it, like me, and then you have some people who think it is the worst thing ever and think it like ruined the series, and there's no in between.
Yeah, I fully agree. And whenever Dylan told me that we were having you for closing out day 3 of the championship race, like the championship day of Crash, I was genuinely really happy because I love your energy. I love how you do runs. I love how great you are at commentating. It's very, just genuinely very nice to have you here, and I'm really happy that we had you.
Thank you.
And I love
I was
Bella's
happy to have
salad.
you here. I wasn't planning on submitting because, like I said, I've been trying to take a break from Crash. But when Dylan asked, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll do it for sure.
You saw Dylan, you're like, oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was like, I can suffer through this game that causes me mental turmoil just for the sake of a marathon.
That's what I like to hear.
No, I do love this run. It's just I've done it for 5 years, so it's kind of just I just need a break.
Oh yeah, no,
Totally
I
understandable.
And while you had that break, tell us, where can we find you to see what you do next?
So at the moment on all socials, you can find me at Rico_KSB. I plan on changing that username in the near future. I don't know when exactly, but probably no later than January. But even when I do change it, I'll probably make sure that the old username links to it anyway, so you should be able to find me. But now is probably the best time to follow me with that name. Yeah. I make a lot of YouTube videos. I stream basically every day. I've been doing a lot of variety recently. And yeah, pretty active on Twitter too.
Alrighty, so again, thank you very much, but don't go away. Let's go ahead and head on over to host cam real fast.
Thank you so much for the showcase, Rico.
No problem.
You still have the, I just saw it. That's sorry.